$10 million and drama, a big drama on the 𝗕 community. And if you are a 𝗕 holder, like I am, this show is for you. Today we are going to do some therapy session because we saw the biggest FUD ever for the project, and let's do some therapy. Let's understand what's happening right now with 𝗕. If it's just FUD, if we should be worried. I'm a 𝗕 holder too, so I feel your pain. And I do believe 𝗕, I like 𝗕. And I did a tweet saying that I love 𝗕, but I was not liking the shilling. And today we are going to address everything so that you can understand what happened, where we are right now, and maybe what's your best strategy if you are a 𝗕 holder like me. So there was a big drama, right? Before the drama, we had like 30 days ago, that was the best story in crypto. 90% rally in a month, while the rest of the market was bleeding. We have even the CEO of NVIDIA, Jensen Huang, praising on stage. The All-In podcast pushed it. And yeah, today the story is different. Today we have a different story. Today someone just walked out the door with $10 million and saying that what we believe it's decentralization, it's just a theater. And today I'm going to actually show you this because I want you to understand what really happened. So all the drama that we saw, I think first, in case you don't know what is 𝗕, I need to show you what is 𝗕, and I'm going to tell you what 𝗕 is so that you can understand what you're talking about. So basically, Bittensor is, how can I say this? Let's call it the Bitcoin of AI. You can say like this, it's the Bitcoin of AI. So it tries to turn artificial intelligence into a commodity market. So it's like thinking like Bitcoin, but instead of miners hashing, you have miners producing AI work. Training runs, inference, storage, prediction, everything that an AI does today, each one in a separate marketplace. In each market, it's called a subnet. And let me show you how these actually work, because I believe it's easier if you see what I'm saying, and it will help you understand better. Let me see if I can show you. There you go. So basically, this is 𝗕. Okay? Look at this. This is one subnet, one market for one type of AI work. On the left, you have the miners, the people producing the work, running models on their hardware, think like Bitcoin mining, but for AI, like I said. And on the right, you have the validators. Their job is to score the quality of what the miners produce. From the top, 𝗕 emissions flow in, and the miners who produce the best work get rewarded in 𝗕. Kind of reminds us of Bitcoin, right? And here's the critical part. You see the arrow? Sorry, I just had a glitch here on the sound. Everything is okay, right? I just got an alert from, let me see. Yeah, let me see. Yeah, I think everything is okay, right, on the show. I think so. I just got an alert from YouTube. So, like I was saying, you have the 𝗕 emissions here. You need to see that this is the critical part. So each subnet has its own token called the alpha token, linked to 𝗕 through a staking mechanism. I'm not going to get too technical here, okay? But I want you to understand before I tell you what's happening. So when one subnet catches a narrative, its alpha pumps, and it drags 𝗕 up with it. So Bittensor is a market of, thank you. So Bittensor is a market of around 125 of these, each one competing on a different AI task. Does this make it clear for you? Just let me know if this is clear for you. So this is basically, in a simplistic way, what 𝗕 does. So in March, a handful of these subnets run 400%, and 𝗕 run 90. And almost all of that run through one team, Covenant AI. Covenant AI, running subnets 3, 30, 9, and 81. Covenant did something genuinely historic last month, and I think you need to understand this. They trained a 72 billion parameter language model across 70 plus independent contributors on commodity hardware. No data center. They call it Covenant 72B. It was even talked by Jensen Huang on the All-In podcast. We'll remember that. And then there was the rally, and everyone was talking about 𝗕, and 𝗕 was the best thing in the world again. And just because this single endorsement, it lit the fuse. and 𝗕 ran 90%. I think we were around 170 or something like that, and it went to 300 something. We're going to check the chart in a moment. And you need to understand is that Covenant was not just a subnet. Covenant was the proof that Bittensor actually works. And then the drama, the horror, this, let me show you. This, it's what happened. This is an open letter from Subnets, the founder of Covenant AI, that just posted this week. It had a lot of views, 1.4 million views, a lot of likes, etc. I'm not going on that, but it did an impact, a negative impact on 𝗕. So he accused Bittensor founder, 𝗕𝗃𝗲𝗿𝗀, known as Const, of running the entire network from one keyboard. That's what he's saying. He says emissions to his subnets were suspended, moderation's rights stripped, and tokens dumped against him in economic pressure. And this is exactly, his exact words were decentralization theater. And then for a second, and then a second thing dropped the same day. A site called TAO Papers with on-chain forensics. They claim 38 of 41 network upgrades between 2023 and 2026 came from an infrastructure controlled by the 𝗕 founder. This is the drama. The other two multi-sig signers co-signed within minutes, no public discussion. That doesn't sound too decentralized, right? So, a 3-person governance committee that is functionally one person. Now, I want to be fair here, okay? Because this is not a one-sided story, and he did respond, okay? And we are going to check his answer. And again, remember that I'm a 𝗕 holder too, okay? So what I'm telling you here, I'm not trying to spread FUD, I'm just telling you the story so that you can make your decision, like I need to make my decision also. So this is his full response. He denies he can technically suspend emissions. He says his token sales were under 1% of his positions. He says Covenant subnets were already on near 100% burn code. This is too technical if you don't know 𝗕, okay? But basically, one is say that 𝗕 is not decentralized, and the founder is saying it's decentralized, it's a network working. This is the summary, say like this. And this is where I have to be honest with you. I do not know who's telling the full truth. And anyone who says, in my opinion, is not being honest with you, okay? But I'll tell you what I know. I will tell you what I know. And yeah, I know this. I know that 𝗕 crashed 20% after this, okay? This is what I know. And it kept crashing. And it had a small pump yesterday, and people are scared of 𝗕 right now. This is what I can tell you. And I can tell that the community is split between calling it a whistleblower or calling it a rug. This is what you need to understand. And the price is not the only real story, okay? The real story I'm going to show you now, because like I say, I want to show you what I'm talking about. I think it's more easy for you to understand what I'm talking about. So, this was the issue with 𝗕, okay? The price here, like I was saying, it's not the real story. Let me just show you. The price here is not the real story. The real story is that 𝗕, 90% rally, was priced on 125 subnets. It was just free. This is what you need to understand. You need to understand this. From all the subnets, everything that's happening, it's centralized on 3 subnets. And remember what I just showed you. One subnet is miner, validators, emissions, alpha token, etc. And this is actually where everything lives. 𝗕 is the token you hold. Around you have the subnets. And now, if you see those 3 red ones, those were the confidence subnets. The ones that just exit, the $10 million sold. The $10 million sold, okay? And you can look at the numbers here. 90% of the rally was driven by these 3 subnets here. And this is the $10 million solo TAO. When free subnets are out and 125 can move the entire token, that's when you start to question the decentralization, if it's just a marketing slide and not on its own TAO architecture. Do you understand what I'm trying to tell you? Is that I do like TAO, I think TAO is amazing, but the question that every TAO holder needs to answer this weekend is that, do you think that TAO is still decentralized or not? Do the dream of decentralization of AI, it was just a dream? Or do we believe that there was really a decentralization? And this is just, how can I say this? This is just, let me see how I see this. I need to be really careful here because I don't want anyone, this is not financial advice, it's just me trying to explain what's happening and the drama. But the thing here is, like, when I look at this, I don't see the decentralization that it should be, okay? Again, I'm not saying, I don't know who's saying the truth. I don't know if it's Covenant, if it's the founder of TAO. I need to do more research on that. We just had like 2 days to understand that. But this, I know it's true. And it was the impact. But I know also one thing. They didn't exit with TAO at $170. They exit with TAO at 300 something. Right? And that's something that I didn't like. And that's something that I didn't like, to be honest, okay? If the issues were there, they could have exited much earlier than they did. Okay, just my opinion here, and this is just what's happening with TAO. And now I'm going to tell you, as a TAO holder, what I'm going to do. It's nothing, okay? I'm not going to get scared by this. I will pay attention to what's happening on the market right now, but I will not, okay, I will not take any emotional decision. Okay, and I will explain why. Because every time I did an emotional decision, I lost money. Because then things were not as bad as as we thought they are. And so for TAO, for now, I'm sticking. It's just FUD. I'm still on profit. The chart is not that bad, to be honest. We had a 20% dip after a 90% rally. I'll just show you in a minute. I think it's easier so we can see. Also, one thing is what's really happening. The other thing is what the chart is telling us. So let's look here. And we can check this in a minute. So TAO went, I don't know your average price on TAO, but TAO went from February to 23 of March, 160%, and it dropped 32% now. So yeah, I'm still on profit. So I'm not going to take any emotional decision, but I'm going to pay attention to this history. And if I see that TAO keeps dipping and it starts to approach my entry price, then I will start to de-escalate. Okay, to de-escalate and to sell my wallet. I'm just thinking about the conflict right now. To sell something on my wallet, and I start to exit. If it reached my entry price, I think it's around 180. If I'm not sure, I'm not 100% sure, but it is around those levels. The last buys that I did, not the other ones. But if it starts to go there, I will start to exit. Okay, because I've seen a lot of things on this space, and I've seen a lot of good projects that in the end they were not good projects, and I see a lot of bad projects or supposedly bad projects that in the end they turn out to be good projects. So as a TAO holder and someone that's feeling your pain, what I can tell you right now is that I'm not going to do anything. I'll be keeping this under the radar, and then if it starts to approach my entry price, I will make a decision and I will share this on X or on my English channel that you can follow. It's in the description. I'll show you later the link. It's 𝗕𝗃𝗏𝗏 by Pedro Silva. And that's what I'm going to do, okay? One thing that I just want to share with you is that I don't take emotional decisions. Every emotional decisions that you take, you are usually 99% of the time you lose money, okay? So don't do it. Do not take emotional decisions. Just wait. I know it's painful. I understand that, but This is investing, right? It's not just crypto. Sometimes stocks also work. So I don't think it's the case for TAO. I'm just giving you an example. And just be careful now. Protect your money. If you don't feel comfortable, you can always exit and leave a moon bag if you want to still be exposed. But I think in the end, everything will be okay, honestly. But I'm being 100% honest with you. I need to look better at this. Okay? I need to have more time to investigate what's happening. And again, not selling, just giving you my opinion, just explaining what's happening here. And that's it. Okay? That's the drama for the crypto market this week. It's TAO. But I did said this, okay? The shilling for me was kind of worrisome. And yeah, I don't know they were already planning to exit or not, but it's kind of coincidental. They pump the price and then they exit, right? So yeah. Now, like I was saying, sometimes there are good projects that went bad, and sometimes there are some new projects that get our attention. And I'll go to the comments later, okay? I'll go to the comments later. And sometimes there's some things that slide into my DMs, and I start to look, why is everyone talking about this? So today I'm going to talk about, this is not financial advice, this is research, okay? So I'm going to talk about this because for the first time in quite a few months, I would say, there was something that caught my eye on Solana. And you know, I'm not the biggest fan of Solana, okay? And I'm talking about this. Let's just go here and show you this. I'm talking about this token has like 2 days. Okay, it's Commonwealth network. And this was sliding, people were asking about this because a lot of people talking about this. And I was like, okay, shall I research this because this is on Solana? Usually I don't do it, okay? Because when I see something on Solana, my instinct is like, okay, new Solana, it's no team, Discord, a dog, a dream, and a rug. That's what I think. But yeah, a lot of people are asking about this. I got some DMs. And then I went to search. And this is why I'm showing this today to you, okay? First, the team is not anonymous. And this got my attention. I haven't seen a project with a new project on Solana with the team doxed for in a while, okay? So then I start to look at this, and then I start to research what is the Commonwealth network. And it's a UK-based platform, which is good, that already exists. And they connect 56 nations of the Commonwealth. Okay, if you don't know what is the Commonwealth, you need to research, besides crypto, you need to research history. So we are talking about a few billion peoples and the combined GDP of, I would say, above $5 trillion. I think it's around $19 trillion, which is a lot of people and a lot of GDP, okay? And then I start doing more research, and they already run a 12 million reader media network. Okay. So this got my attention. And I started to research more, and I started to see what they promise. And for the first time in a while, I was seeing myself spending more than 2 minutes in a Solana project. In the Solana project, and I was like, okay, so let's look more into it. And that's when I see that besides the team that's behind the project, there's actually His Highness the Sheikh Saud bin Faisal Sultan Al Kazimi. And he's from the ruling family of Sharjah and Ras Al in the UAE. And I said, okay, this got my attention. This is when I started to look. This is when I started to look for this, okay? And he's also the chairman of the 𝗪𝗪𝗡 Group. His office runs investments, wealth, fintech service outside of the UAE. And okay, he was officially named the president of the Commonwealth Union blockchain vertical. And they had a big inaugural ceremony in Sharjah with other members of the royal family present, plus international figures, UK trade minister. So there was a lot of how can I say this? There was a lot of important people on the launch. And I want to understand what actually means, because usually in crypto, we throw around the world. Institutional is like a loose meaning, okay? And When I start to research this, and I understood that this is not a logo on a deck. This is not an advisor who took a token allocation. This is a head of state. This is a head of state level figure putting his name and his office on front of the blockchain network at a public ceremony with the foreign diplomats in the room. This is different. This really caught my eye. And this is, you know, the royal in the UAE doesn't put his name on something he expects to disappear. So that alone, just this, earned my full attention, okay? Now let's understand what they say they are building. Free stated pillars in their own word. So media using the existing 12 million readers that I just told you as the distribution layer, network connecting 150 million small business, over 100 million diaspora, professional for cross-border commerce, not payments, cross-border commerce, and infrastructure, for financial tools and settlement rails across $19 trillion economy. And their tagline is where communities becomes economies. That is generally different. This is from what is launching in Solana right now. Again, this is different. And for me, a Solana project caught my eye. That's something that, yeah, I love to research. I research a lot, usually not on Solana, and I stop on Solana, and I stop on this project on Solana. Now, you need to understand one thing. It's not financial advice. This is the day one. The token has 2 days. You should follow them on X. You go here, or you can go to the description of the video, and you have everything here about the token. Like I was saying, you follow them on X, you follow the project, you start to understand what's happening, what they are delivering. You do your own research, okay? Because today, I would say it's not the day 1, but it's the day 3, because they launched 2 days ago of their multi-year vision, okay? And this is when it's the hardest part to judge, okay? The institutional layer is real. The execution on chain, they are building it now, so it's not yet proven, but they are on track. And they have a good team, they have the right person in front of the project. And so I do think it deserves your attention. You should research it, do your research, and then you decide if you want to invest or not. And if you want to invest, it's super easy. You go, you have the contract here on their website or on their X, you open MetaMask, you just swap it and that's it, okay? Super easy, okay? And this is the most honest I can tell you about this project, okay? It caught my eye, it's different. The real people behind it, the layer is there, and now they are bringing it on-chain, and it's something that I love. It's tokenization. It's tokenization. So, these are my checkpoints regarding this project. You can steal them, or you can ignore them. That's up to you. But this really caught my attention, and yeah, when I saw it, I said, okay, let's share it and see. Let's share the points, and I want you to start research. Those that follow me knows that I'm always saying, do your own research. I'll just give you my points, and then it's up to you. And this is exactly why I decided to bring this project today to you, so that you could understand and you can research that sometimes good projects born even on Solana. Hey, Solana maxis are going to attack me after this. But sometimes good projects are built on Solana too, not just other networks. So let's go to some charts today. I know that you want to check some charts. And let's see how's Bitcoin behaving today. So regarding Bitcoin, today is the worst day to trade. Okay, and I'm going to tell you why. Because I think the meeting between Israel, US, and Iran already started. And I think there will be a lot of fake headlines. Okay, a lot of fake headlines. So usually I like to tell you to provide some entries for scalps, and I do that daily in Portuguese or in English. You just need to follow me on my channels. I've been doing live trading I would say every day. I think there was not a single day that I didn't did live trading. So, but right now here, Bitcoin is still inside of the range, right? And it's in an area where it usually rejects. Usually it rejects where it is right now. You can, it's really hard to trade today. I shouldn't be giving trades today because I know they're already meeting, and the meeting is kind of awkward because first they are going to meet separate, then they are going to, if everything goes well, they are going to meet together. So, you know, there's will be a lot of propaganda, fake headlines, etc. We are now even seeing that they cannot open the strait because they don't know where the mines are, which is kind of hilarious, right? But yeah, regarding Bitcoin, I want to short it. Okay, if I wanted to trade right now, let me get a cleaner chart. If I wanted to trade right now, I would not long Bitcoin here, definitely. And I think I already have 2 shorts on Bitcoin, if I'm not mistaken. But one thing I will do for sure to protect myself, if you don't have an edge, you can open a short now, which I don't think it's make that sense, or you can wait for it to come higher. Let me go here. I would say, let me see. Yeah, around these levels here. So let me just confirm. I would short around these levels here. I would do this. Tight stop loss, and knowing that probably you can get stopped if they get a deal, but if they get a deal, you won't mind to get stopped. And I would leave this something like this. I would do something like this just to protect your portfolio. If Bitcoin reaches this level, if Bitcoin reaches this level, probably, yeah. If Bitcoin, I will do this. I'll take this trade. And talking about trades, did you register for the bluffing competition, Beat the Bear? I want to know. I want to know register for the bluffing competition. I will check my team now to see who's registered there. I want to know this. Let me know in the chat. Let me know. So we are going to start a Beat the Bear trading challenge. In 6 days, you have the link here to register on my team. And sorry. And you just need to go here, register yourself, and in 6 days we'll be trading with the other Banter hosts. And I need your help. I want to be on the podium. I want to be on the podium. So just go to the link here, register on my team. And like I said, I'll be opening a Discord channel for free inside my community for the competition. And also inside the app that I created, you will get access to the trades that I'll be taking. So just join here and get access, get in my community, and there will be a free Discord channel for the competition. And yeah, we can all trade together and make money. We hope so, right? And take the first place. Like I was saying, for Bitcoin now, I'll leave it like this. And still, it might not even reach that. And you need to understand that you might get stopped also in case the negotiations go well. And that will be the most beautiful stop we could take for the sake of humanity, for the sake of everything. If we could take that stop, I don't mind getting stopped on that short, because that will be the most beautiful thing. It means the war is over, and that's what we need right now. That's exactly what we need right now. So, but I'm still going to look for some trades. Yeah, but I just want to short it again. I will short it, Ethereum here. Let me, yeah. Was sure, let's see. I would short Ethereum here on this resistance here. I'm not going to set a short now because I want to see if it gets there with volume, but I'm going to set an alert. And then I'm going to evaluate the strength that it has there. If it goes with strength there, then I'm going to short it. It's strength, no, sorry. If it doesn't have that strength there, and I will check the structure, I will short Bitcoin there. I will short Bitcoin 100%. And Ethereum. Those two are a short. They need to be, unless the war is over, and then we'll be all happy with that. Let's check it. I would like to find a long too. Let me check the comments. Stuart is saying that he got his first TAO at the start of this week. Look, we all have been there. Okay, I cannot show you a comment here, but we all have been there. Well, even I sometimes, when I'm DJing, I buy some projects at the top. It's what it is. It's part of the game. So, but I do think TAO is one of those that might recover really well if it's just FUD. So, yeah, I hope that you can make money on TAO, honestly. Let me say. Let me check the comments. Someone, Bull Runner is saying that is investing 80% on TAO and 20% on subnets. Yeah, but it's not easy to invest on subnets, and you know that. It's for someone that's not used to TAO, investing on subnets is not that easy. Someone is saying they never liked TAO. Yeah, look, there's always someone that doesn't like something. Right? So I understand that. And I understand your opinion. It doesn't mean that TAO is not a good project. I'm a holder, like I told you. And I do believe it's a good project, so. There's always something like that. You need to understand when you are invested, there's always someone that don't like, a lot of people that turn into maxis, and yeah. It will be always like that. I like TAO, I still hold TAO, and yeah, I hope it can recover. When was this short? It was on Wednesday. Still going. Let me see if I can find more trades. Just understand that any trade today can be invalidated the direction with one tweet, one fake news, one whatever. Yeah. I think the market looks kind of heavy, to be honest. Let me check. Let's see if we can find something here. And I want to know who's already registered on the bluffing competition, on the beat the bear. We need to beat the bear for the bull run to start. Two things. We need to beat the bear, and Rud needs to tweet something positive about XRP. Yeah. Guys, I'll be 100% honest with you. I want to short the market right now. I think we might have some small movement up, and then it's going to drop. I feel the market's kind of heavy. This is the feeling that I have, but I don't think it's wise to be here looking for trades right now. So I'm going to wrap this up here, and thank you for being here. I hope everything was okay, because I was getting alerts that the transmission was not working all the time. So I hope everything was working fine. Remember, follow me on X, 𝗕𝗲_Decoded by Pedro Silva. I'm live there. I'll be live there tomorrow. So tomorrow, it's Sunday. I'll be live there preparing the week, looking for some trades for the week, also for some scalps.